paw. Good boy. My name is Claire. It has been a minute since I've posted. I just kind of want to jump back into making, especially weekly reading and writing vlogs. I love doing those. Unfortunately, I have to use my iPhone right now because my regular vlogging camera is dead. There it is charging. There's the stand I was about to use for it. So hopefully the video and the audio, even though it's on my phone, is all right for now. I think when I last talked to you guys, I was working on Act 1. I've more or less completed Act 1, but all of my chapters 1 through 10 were in separate documents. So now I'm just putting them into one grand document to send out to all my beta readers. But of course, by doing that and going through each and every chapter, there's always a little bit more editing and world building and general things to fix or move around. I'm on chapter 6. So far, I'm just really happy. Not to say that there aren't a few places or a few sections I'm really curious and anxious for a little feedback, especially 4, because that has a ton of essential world building information. But I really tried to make it interesting and not info dumpy, still enough so you can understand the plot moving forward, but not too much to where it's boring. And I think I've done it mostly successfully, but until I get feedback, I won't know entirely for sure, because it's one thing when you're the author and all of this world building information is already in your head, and another when you give it to somebody who doesn't have any idea at all or a very minimal idea, and if it like comes across on the page or if their eyes just glaze over in boredom. I've also been hand writing my general outline for Act 2, even though I already have a completed manuscript. In case you guys are just tuning in, I should probably explain that this is a YA fantasy book. This is my first attempt at writing a novel, and it's been a lot of work. It's been a long ride. So even though I have a completed manuscript, there's a lot of things that I want to change to it to make it better. And Act 2 is the act that is going to need a lot of work. That's one of my mistakes with Act 1, is I just was editing these chapters as I go and sending out one chapter at a time. I learned a lot from that, and I was able to make a lot of quality changes, I think. But for Act 2, I want to cut down on the amount of rewriting and re-editing. So I'm gonna try making a pretty intense outline and then sending that outline to some friends and beta readers, and just on a plot basis be like, does this make sense? Does this sound compelling? My friend is also coming over and we're going to work together before throwing a game night tonight. Another thing that I've been working on, which is not explicitly fiction writing related, but let me know if you want to see any more specific videos about this topic, but I am getting really into learning Irish. I've never attempted to learn another language before, and just the tips and tricks and different things that I've been trying to acquire the language has been fascinating. I'm super into the language acquisition genre on YouTube. Anyway, let me know if you want to see any specific videos about that. Otherwise, I can just throw in tidbits here and there with these writing vlogs. My arm is getting tired, so I think that means it's time to work. So just to briefly go into more detail about what I mean when I say that I'm editing, I'm just rereading and mostly focusing on if there's any way I can clean up the prose. There were some chapters, like chapter 4, that required a little bit of content editing, but for the majority of my chapters, it's just reading a sentence or reading a paragraph and being like, is there a more concise or interesting way to say what I'm saying? Or you just do the haha reaction.
So in terms of the cards, it's going to be shuffled. There's 6.
Is that your art, Danny?
Yeah, it was the same thing. Behind it.
Pandemic.
It says Pizzagate.
Hello everyone, it is Sunday. I'm sorry for not checking in with you guys yesterday. Frankly, I was completely worn out by Friday night. We had such an incredible game night. We played some Love Letter Catan, which I won, and then this game called Secret Hitler, which is a lying game, and we had such a large group of people that it was so much fun, and I would say one of the best lying focused games out there. It was such a blast. And then we went out in the woods to walk my dog for like an hour and a half. So I didn't go to bed until very late. And so Saturday I was pretty wiped out. Although I did finish editing my chapter 6, which required virtually no editing, which is why even though I was brain dead and exhausted, I could still go through it. This is gonna sound very pompous, but reading it was like, wow, I love this book. I love these characters. I wish the book was just done so I could continue reading it. The next few chapters, 7 and 8, are the ones that are going to require a little bit more brain power, because it used to be one chapter and now I'm splitting them. The endings and beginnings of where that split happened, I think, need some refinement if my memory serves. But before I do any of that, my friend is having a Father's Day barbecue and me and Yukon are invited to it. So we're gonna be hanging out there for a few hours and then I'll work on the editing later today.
There's still a fire.
There's still a fire!
Hello friends, it's Monday. I'm sleepy. It's rainy, but I'm about to start my Irish lessons, which is through a university in Dublin over Zoom. So I have 2 hours of that, and I've been working on this vlog, and it's been so while since I've done any video editing, so that actually felt really nice. And then I have some writing and editing to do as written in my planner. And maybe if I get all that stuff done, I can reward myself with a nap. Hey, handsome boy. Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. I hope you can hear me all right over all this construction that's happening. And I apologize for not doing more updates yesterday. Can you tell that I haven't vlogged in a while? It is nearly noon and I've already gone to the gym, walked Yukon several times, worked on some Irish, did some cleaning. So I should be all set to go to just focus on my writing. One of my good friends is coming over. We can just kind of have a study date. I'm really looking to completely edit chapter 7 and 8, and like I said previously, they're already very clean chapters, but when I was working on 7 yesterday, there were definitely some things where I was like, oh, I could make this sound better. I really need to get this act 1 just done by the end of this week. It shouldn't have taken as long as it's been, but I have been distracted by having all my friends in town. You better fucking not. Yukon, if you even try.
Are you recording this? I hope this conversation's being recorded.
Hello. So it is Wednesday. This is going to be the final update. Maybe you can see it, but I have been working on editing this week's vlog. It just reminded me why I love making videos so much. I showed the beginning of this vlog to my mom, and she also thought it was really like cute and sweet. So anyway, I wanted to update you guys on my writing progress from yesterday. So I did not get through chapter 8 because chapter 7, oh, it's not even that it was bad. It was totally doable, but I knew I could make it better. So one of the things that I realized pretty early on in the chapter, well, it's a party scene, but it didn't feel as vivid and lived in as I wanted it to. There was a lot of particular details. It wasn't like it was detailless, like it had white wall syndrome or anything like that, but it didn't read like we were in the moment. So I really took some time to pause and flesh out, in this case, who the bard was. I think in my original ideation of this draft, I wanted to pack as many specific details in as possible, but then it kind of just read like a laundry list of party details. I felt like there was a disconnect between what my character was really feeling and experiencing, how what was going on related to him or like what he knew about the world, rather than just a list of things. So that took some time. And then towards the end of the chapter, there is a character that is introduced that is super important to my main character and then to the plot later on. However, and this is because of plot reasons, this new character that gets introduced also disappears for the vast majority of the book. So it's like, okay, this introduction of this character is super important and needs to be very memorable. You need to be able to, as an audience, figure out right away like how important this new character is to my main character. And I actually think I'm gonna go and add in a few more details that I've been thinking about today just to really make sure that that lands. I want to make sure I do that, and then I'll work on chapter 8 today before going out to dinner with some of my friends. So I have like a bit of a time crunch. I actually like working under pressure because then it forces me not to lollygag or check on my phone or anything like that. But anyway, I'm gonna get to writing and then I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. All right, y'all, I filmed a new kind of experimental for me anyway. We'll see how it turns out when I edit it later. I still have some work to do as always. I don't know exactly when I'll come home tonight. If it's early enough, I can work on it some more before going to bed. If not, I have all day tomorrow, but I have to get going. So thank you so much for checking in on this vlog. I will be posting more regularly from now on. It feels really good to be back. I've missed you guys. Let me know what you've been up to these last few months. Any new writing progress or reading progress, let me know down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.